Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and with me as always is Jeff, aka the Blockchain Report. And tonight, our special guest, the TA aficionado, is Crypto Crank. How you both doing?
Doing good, doing good. Excited. Get a new face, ready to
Yeah,
rock and roll. Welcome,
Hell
excited to
yeah!
welcome.
join you guys, man. Excited to join the world of DeFi and airdrops, man. I'm very new to it, so I'm very excited to be joining you guys tonight.
Nice, nice. So yeah, we have a little bit of everything tonight. We got me on the at the helm with DeFi, Crypto Crank at the helm with TA and trading, and Jeff at the helm with airdrops. We got it all covered, man. So, oh, excuse me. Um, tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about Avantis, a new trading platform and perps platform on Base, and we're also going to have Crypto Crank go through a couple of projects that he has his eye on, and maybe give us chart them out and give us a little bit of alpha on what he sees coming in the markets. And if you all want to start popping in the chat and projects that you might be interested in, if we have the time, we'll see if he can give you a little bit of alpha on your favorite projects. So, without further ado, Jeff, do you want to jump right into sharing the socials and make sure that people know where to find Crypto Crank?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining us on this new Tuesday edition of DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, where me and Mike go live every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and now Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can catch us here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, follow us over here. Get in the chat because I know you can't chat very much on Twitter. But check out our brother channels, Discover Crypto, Blockchain Basement, and me at the Blockchain Report. And also Crypto Crank at Crypto Crank on YouTube.
Oh,
And
shit, hold on. I need to
oh,
put us over where people can see your damn screen.
oh, oh shit. There we go. Here you go. So this is where you can find us. Discover Crypto and our brother channels right here. Crypto Crank on the YouTube at Crypto Crank. And all of these will be in the description below. Mike also goes live every Wednesday and Friday with the DeFi Masterclass at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern with David and Jake. And they have their DeFi University and Metrics Finance that you can find in the description below. Great DeFi tools. And Money Talks will be resuming soon, but that's usually on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can catch all the previous episodes here. Great traditional finance, alpha, merging with DeFi. So we got
And
pretty much
also,
everything you can.
a
Yeah.
really key aspect of that show is my brother Taylor is an estate lawyer, and he goes over how to protect your wealth. So wealth conservation. So
Mhm.
a lot of stuff we talk about here is traditional finance, crypto, things like DeFi, and ways to try to make money. But it's important to understand what you need to do to mitigate your tax liabilities, and from a professional, and legal ways to insulate yourself potentially from lawsuits or anything else, to where you could potentially lose all that wealth that you work so hard to get in crypto. So we try to bring you a little bit of everything here on the channel, that is going to help you not just build wealth but protect that wealth once you get it. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And traditional finance expert. He's actually a registered financial advisor, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
TradFi Jeff? Or
Yes.
Texas Jeff?
Texas Jeff.
So,
Yes.
yeah, a lot of great alpha. And Mike's DeFi Academy, where you can start from the bottom up, ground zero. So if you're a total noob, I know we have somebody, a crypto trucker was in here going through that and getting a lot of alpha. So check that out. If you don't know where to start at the DeFi Academy and work your way up. And we also have a Discord where you can ask deeper questions, and we can reach out to you personally right here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. It's free, totally free. Mike's got a lot of great tools for you on your DeFi journey, a portfolio tracker and ladder out plan. So you have everything organized. And Discover Investments Group has a free channel too. And they also have a paid section where you can get trading stuff, portfolio access, a lot of great alpha there. And I also have a Discord as well that's free. And you can catch us all on Twitter at _only_DCA, Vet at Veteran4Crypto, me at the BCR142. I'm getting a phone call. And Crypto Crank at Real Crypto Crank. And now we are streaming on pump.fun. We did have to create a token in order to stream on here. So Mike said it was what is it? We don't have any of the tokens. All the tokens are released.
Oh yeah, it was a fair launch. We don't care if you buy the token or not. We just needed to create it so we could stream on them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's there. We released all the tokens. I own 5 million tokens that I paid like $40 for, but I bought them just like all of you. So there's no chance of a pump and dump or anything like that. Whatever happens with it is going to happen organically. So
yeah, and also there have been some issues with comments not coming through on YouTube. I know that some people have been kind of frustrated. So if you get in the Discord and you ask your question there, I can make sure it gets answered on the chat on the live stream. Yeah, I don't know what's up with YouTube, but they're fucking up, man. They're fucking up.
Yeah. So, well, let's go ahead and jump into it. Avantis, and yeah, and just kind of I'll give like a quick brief overview of it, and then just kind of we'll kick it over to you gentlemen, and you can kind of tell me what you found out about it, and we'll kind of go from there. We can kind of show a little bit. I have a couple of longs open right now. I know that I'm degen for doing that with the way the markets have been, but so far on the AVNT token, I got my initial out, and I still have a couple of $100 of the house's money that is hopefully gonna do something for me. So anyway, what I was basically able to find out, and the big thing for me is two things. One, it's on base, which I love, and two, it is non-custodial. So unlike centralized exchanges and things like that, Avantis is a non-custodial platform, and what that means is that your tokens or your liquidity isn't necessarily housed on the platform. It's basically a smart contract that allows you to keep custody of your assets. But another cool thing about it is that they are going to be opening up to where they're going to have a bunch of DeFi on there. So already they have, let's see what we got here. So you can go to the Earn tab. They have to where you can stake your USDC. And without locking it, you can earn 6.11%. Actually, you got it. Mm-hmm. And then if you lock it for 6 months, and you can unlock it. It's not locked permanently for 6 months. There's a bit of a penalty, but if you keep it locked for 6 months, you earn 22.22% on a stable coin, which to me is freaking amazing. Mm-hmm. So I'm very, very bullish on this platform, and what I've found so far. And then of course, not to mention the all the different things that you can trade, on here.
Well, so you receive 65% of the trading fees and losses.
Yeah,
right here too.
Exactly.
So that's extra outside of the 22%? I
would have to look deeper into that. But you can trade crypto, you can trade the QQQ, you can trade Forex, so basically foreign currencies. You can trade gold, silver. There's a lot of stuff that you can trade on here. And I think up to like 500x leverage. I mean, it's insane.
1,000 on USD JPY.
Yeah.
Japanese yen.
Damn. So Crypto Crank. I mean, what do you know about this platform?
Oh man, here you guys are catching me off, dude.
It's actually like new. So
Let me just start off by telling you guys are the ones that are going to be teaching me because I take everything for face value. I take everything in the crypto market as volatile as it is, whether it be, I know you guys have talked about certain projects like Arrow and Plume and Base Network. And for me, you guys are going to have to teach me tonight about
Okay.
why I would be putting my money and our audience into these platforms or into these protocols and how I can earn, how they benefit me, the risk. Because again, where I come from as a trader, I hate to say it, guys, but I look at this market as a cash cow. Like I look at stocks, and I look at Bitcoin, and I look at these assets for face value. And so, as far as I go with my staking and the protocols that I run, would probably be Morpho, because again, I'm just learning about it through Coinbase. I do Coinbase staking through USDC. I make my, I'm barely just starting to make my 4% on my Coinbase card that I just got. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys,
I just got the same thing, man. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm going to get the Gemini card to make my XRP. Whether but tonight is really you guys. I'm going to be tuning in, and I want to know exactly why I should be looking at this protocol, and how
Well,
I
where did
can
you
make.
start trading? What commodities and stuff did you start with when you got
So I've been
into
trading
trading?
for about 8 years. I just did my live with Flopping Groper. That's Crypto Face's brother.
Oh
And
shoot.
my backstory, guys, yeah, I've been trading for about 8 years and about 3-4 years profitable. Okay, about 3-4 years
Hmm.
profitable. Trading is an art, guys, and it's not about the money. And that's just my backstory with back in 2017, 2016. I got into cryptocurrency not because of a decentralized currency, not because of a failing dollar, not because of any of these other reasons that you're going to start seeing these people with the future. I got in because I saw assets that were going 20-30% in one direction in a single hour, in a single 5-6 hours, and then the opposite direction in the same 2-3 hours. And I thought, man, there's a couple of real ones out there that are making money off of this volatility.
Yeah.
And I told myself, you know what? I come from a background of finance. I was a finance manager at an auto dealership since I was 21,
Okay.
and yeah, and so from 21 to 27, 28, I was a finance manager at an auto dealership, and then I took a good salary, and I took that money and I put that money at risk, and I learned how to day trade. And so
Nice.
again, yeah, that's kind of my background right there. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, it's yeah, the auto industry, man, that's a challenging industry. I did a little time myself, and then my brother that was actually just up here visiting me. Uh, he's actually the general manager of a Chevy dealership in Southern California. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, it's that's a rough industry, man. So yeah, if you were able to survive in that industry, you definitely know your shit.
Best in the country, brother. When it came to an F and I have not to toot my own horn, dude, but I know the car business, and I really I took that and then I rolled it into day trading, and then now I roll in a lot of the principles of day trading into technically everything, guys, because it's again, day trading is not about being, it's not about the money, it's about being right. How disciplined can you be with your decision, with your
Yeah.
plan?
I think that's true of almost all investing. Discipline, focus, keeping your emotion, staying stoic. Keeping your emotion, out of your investing. And I mean, that's probably the only thing that's kept me successful is just the discipline that I got in the military
Hmm.
and being able to do my research. Have that kind of military mindset of I do my research, I assess the battlefield. Look at all the different aspects of they like when we're doing these deep dives, looking at the team, looking at the tokenomics, looking at everything. And then once I make a decision to invest, then unless those fundamentals change, I stick with it. If even if the price tanks, I just still just keep doing DeFi and I keep stacking it. Now, if the fundamentals change, then I reassess the battlefield. And if after that, I reassess. If I look at it and see, you know what, this is not, no longer for me. This investment's no longer for me. Then I'm out.
Mhm.
Then maybe that's 50% out, maybe that's 100% out. But depending on what that change is, I might start to kind of de-risk. And that's kind of one thing I did with XRP when they launched RLUSD and USDC. Is I saw that affected the utility of XRP, and so I was like, you know what, it doesn't mean it's a bad project, but I don't see the XRP having the potential it had when I initially invested. So
Mhm.
I'm going to move on. And that was just me. I mean, that's definitely not the case for everybody, but that's just an example of what made me move on. But
You're right, man, and that's I would encourage your audience, and I also encourage my audience. I have the trading coliseum, and we do talk about crypto portfolios and investing. And in the world of crypto, guys, you are your money manager.
Mm.
You are your portfolio manager, and when you're looking at projects to invest in, and you're looking at what kind of partnerships do we have? What kind of developments are they creating? What kind of utility do they have?
mhm.
As far as developer goes, are we gaining or are we losing on these projects? And this is a lot of the information. In the world of stocks, guys, we have quarterly outputs that tell us how well things are going. And in the crypto world, you do have to dig a little deeper. You have to understand what you're investing in, who's partnering with, are they, and this is huge. And with my crypto portfolios, I've done that research myself. I've been through 3 cycles now, and there's only a handful of portfolios. I mean, I have a hand very risky, very core, and then very short term.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you nailed it, man. When you're looking at these products and these protocols, you got to understand: are they growing? Are they not? Are they gaining? And that's how we kind of get our quarterly, our output on how we invest.
Well, and, the other aspect too is you got to understand yourself. What is your risk tolerance and what is your financial goals?
Yeah,
Because that's going to drive.
time frame,
Yeah,
expectation.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, just you really have to approach investing from a very analytical mind because yeah, I mean, if you allow emotions, all these freaking pullbacks and liquidity flushes and just the manipulation of the market, if you let emotions make your decisions if you're getting in or out, all you're going to be doing is buying the highs and selling the lows. It's
Mhm.
the people out there that are manipulating these markets, they know what they're doing. They know how to manipulate the masses. They get people excited, get everybody in the market, they dump it, get you to capitulate and sell, and then they freaking buy, and they pump it back up, and then it's rinse and repeat. So yeah, you just got to be patient. So yeah, let me see what else we got here.
Algorithms, dude. They put the money in the pot. They tell it what to do, and they
Mhm.
defeat us. They defeat us because, again, me and you and our emotions, we're retail, man. We're nobodies. We're plebs. We're putting our money in manually.
Yep.
These guys are putting their money in through massive bots and algorithms. So
Oh
just
yeah.
understand what you're up against, guys, when you're in this market.
Well, and that's why I got into basically hodling and DeFi. It moves a lot slower. It's as long as you're doing it right and you allocate, and I always tell people to build the foundation of their portfolio in lending, staking, and basically hodling. Just because you get full exposure to price appreciation, you are still earning yield, and and basically, I mean, there's almost no downside other than smart contract exploits and things like that. So, I mean, it's a very very low risk way that you can just the whole time that we're in these doldrums, you can just be stacking more and more of your favorite projects. So let's hit a couple more things. Hey, what else, Jeff? Were you able to find on Avantis?
Well, I was kind of looking at this trading profits and losses right here in the risk management documentation that they have.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it just says the senior tranche, the low risk, receives 35% of the fees going to LPs. However, it also only shares 35% of any losses. And then the junior tranche receives 65%. But the profit loss share of the junior and senior will be programmable via governance in the future. And they'll monitor post initial launch to observe LP and trading behavior.
So simplify that real quick. Does that mean that they get the APR and?
Let me see.
I mean, we can always ask Miles.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure because they do have so their smart contracts continuously monitor whether the protocol is in a state of normal or constrained liquidity. So normal liquidity, its desired state of the protocol where there is enough liquidity across both vaults to reserve leverage in the desired profit loss ratio. And then constrained liquidity is in which the protocol where there is not enough liquidity across both vaults. So I guess it kind of monitors that automatically,
All right.
which is nice. And that goes back to what was the project we were talking about a few weeks ago where, Noia, where it automatically kind of monitors itself for security and stuff
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
audits, self-auditing.
So another thing that I found is loss rebates. Traders facing liquidations receive partial rebates, a user-friendly feature absent in most competitors like DYDX and GMX. There is also zero fee trading. Unlike Uniswap or Curve, which charge swap fees, Avantis eliminates trading fees, relying on a 60-40 fee split, LPs and Treasury, for sustainability. Um, the tokenomics is something that's different than a lot of these DEX tokens. So there is a fixed supply, so there's no inflation. And that so it drives governance, staking for fee discounts and security, trader rewards and incentives. Post token generation event, May of 2025, it replaced season 1 XP rewards, offering airdrops and fee sharing for holders, distinguishing it from inflationary token models in other dexes. So that's something else, is using the platform for trading and for staking USDC. You earn XP. Season 3 is about to start, and it's supposed to go, I think it was January or February, is what it's supposed to be going to. But there is going to be an airdrop that you're going to get based off of however much XP you have. So the more that you trade, the more that you lock, or the more that you stake, the more XP that you earn. The more XP that you earn, the more AVNT token that you're going to get awarded.
I actually have an update they posted 9 hours ago this
Hey,
morning on
let's hear
Avantis.
it. Let's hear it.
You want to show my screen? I have it right here. So 40 million in AVNT rewards for season 3. Let me see. Yeah. So 4% of AVNT worth 80 million allocated for XP holders within the next 5 months. So September 3rd started season 3, and February 28th is when it's scheduled to end.
All right.
After which AVNT claims will go live. Points have already been accruing for traders, LPs, and referrers. So predictable duration, no extensions. And that's what I love to see, because there's a lot of this shit with airdrop projects where they'll announce, TGE is in 3 months or Q4, and then they extend it out and people are pissed, and there's a lot of unknowns and uncertainties. So yeah, rewards 25% for LPs, 75% for traders. LPs get an allocation of 1%, currently valued at 20 million, and traders at 3%, 60 million. And then we believe this split, along with 100% LP fee share, provides a strong flywheel growth. So yeah, they got all kinds of good details here. They have a dashboard and XP details they're working on. So ETA is mid next week, so be aware of that. And yeah, their goals for the most rewarding menu for accessing universal leverage.
Hey Jeff, your mic's cutting out
Oh, is that better?
a
It
little
might have
bit.
been too far away
There
from
you
my
go.
face.
There you go. That's better.
Maybe I should put my mouth on it.
That's what she said.
Oh, do you want to warn everyone about that video that's going around of AI, Mike?
Oh yeah, I don't think it's going to affect a whole lot of people, but be careful out
Yeah.
there. A member of our community got contacted by somebody saying that they were me, and they took an old short that I did and did an AI to where they made it say what they want it to say, and so yeah, just be careful out there.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yep. Yeah, the mouth looks off, but it's not
Yeah.
bad.
Looks like you're wearing makeup.
Uh,
I didn't know you were
well,
drag.
maybe I was. Maybe I was. Don't judge me, okay? So, no. So I got two more things to cover, and then
Yeah.
I say that we jump over to some
Shoot things
TA.
over.
If you want to be ready for that, Crypto Crank, we'll just start going through some charts. But the two things I was wanting to cover was the team for Avantis. So it looks like the team is fully doxed. It looks like one guy, Hershaj, is ex Pantera, and Raymond Dong, he's a hedge fund alum with expertise in DeFi and macro trading, backed by Pantera Capital, Founders Fund, Galaxy Digital, Coinbase Ventures, and Base Ecosystem Fund. They got an $8 million Series A in June of 2025, giving it stronger institutional support than many DEXs. The second thing is the roadmap and growth. So Q4 of 2025, which we're going into now, brings Avantis V2, dedicated L2 for 10x efficiency, cross margin, expanded RWAs, which includes equities and structured products, compo- compostable yield vaults, which we are, and markets. Unlike single chain dexes, Avantis plans multi chain expansion with $3 to $4.70 price targets by 2030 as RWA DeFi grows. So the thing that I see that for my closing thoughts on this project, the thing that I see that's different about this project is it ticks all my boxes. As a fully docs team, it is self custody. They have a backing of Coinbase and a lot of big players. It's on base. It's on the base chain, which of course, I love because of the low fees. And it has a lot of things that you can do on it, not just trading and not just crypto. You can trade stocks, you can trade commodities. There's a lot of different things, and they're going to be adding DeFi. So for me, I think Avantis is going to be something I'm going to continue to grow a bag of. I bought $200 worth. I put that in this long that I'm in. I made $300, of profit. I shaved that out and just put it into a bag of Avantis, and then I still have a couple $100 in there, and I'm just going to see what it does. And then of course I'm going to be using that $300 to do what I try to do with all the projects. Like what I did with Plume and what I did with Mamo, and with Black Hole, and just all these different projects, is take a couple $100 and turn it into a couple $1,000, using DeFi. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm bullish on this project. But you got any closing thoughts, Jeff, or anything you want to cover before we kick it over to Crypto Crank?
No, I'm actually moving some liquidity from other wallets that I have that I don't really use often into Avantis. So I'm
So
gonna
you can
start
DJ,
playing around.
so you can DJ with me.
Throw a couple
So
$100 in there.
I got a question for both of you guys, man, because you guys have been doing this. You guys are studying these protocols. You guys are learning to earn with what you're holding.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Mhm.
with do you guys trust any of these I mean I know we're talking about Avantis and it could be the next Aerodrome on base. I know that some of these protocols on base are really blowing up, but when you guys do this, man, are you guys treating these protocols and this is definitely for your audience and mine, are you guys taking a couple $100 and like you said, are you treating these like meme coin protocols because they're new, could be the next big lending, could be the next protocol, could be the next token that is and the reason I say that is because to give an example like Morpho.
Yeah.
You open up your Coinbase app 2 days ago, you see Morpho is lit up on Coinbase app where you're
Yep.
getting a 10.5% on your USDC. Massive, massive partnership.
Yes.
But when you guys are talking about these newer protocols like Avantis and some of these others, are you guys, I mean, are you treating these protocols and investing in them as if you would?
I judge them each on their own merits.
Mhm.
So like Mamo. Mamo is a little bit more of a riskier play for me because it's an AI that invests your Bitcoin, USDC, and Mamo token on Moonwell. The thing that made me to where I was okay with putting my liquidity on that platform is it's non-custodial. So basically, the Mammo platform could go down. I can simply go over to Moonwell, access my liquidity there, withdraw it, no harm, no foul. That's
Mhm.
why I'm so big on non-custodial. So whenever I look at these dexes, one of the first thing I look at is it non-custodial? If the platform goes down, if they declare bankruptcy, whatever, do my assets go with them into their bankruptcy filing? If so, really not that interested in putting my liquidity on there. We all know what happened with Celsius. But a lot of these projects, and that's why I stick with base so much, is because I've done so much research on base. Base, the network, is of course from Coinbase. The most of the platforms, like you just mentioned, Crypto Crank with Morpho, it is what the Coinbase platform in its entirety and its upcoming app uses to leverage Bitcoin loans. To
Mhm.
do a lot of the lend borrow in DeFi. Aerodrome is a massive part
Mhm.
of the base network, so it's 60% of the volume on all the base network. And it's being leveraged by Coinbase in the same way that Morpho is. So I see that as being hugely, structurally, from an investment standpoint, very sound. It's I don't see that as too high of a risk. So I mean, I hope that kind of answers your question because
It does. I was kind of rolling in what you were saying, man, into two projects right now because as a trader, and you're talking about custodial, and I'm part of, I'm looking at Arctic, which is a crypto exchange that is trying to be like a Hype or an Astra, Hyperliquid. And when I'm looking at some of these protocols that are self custodial, it's one of the best. It's the craziest thing to me, man, that somebody was able to create a Dex perpetual strictly by connecting your wallets, and it was amazing to see how Hyperliquid and Hype. And when I'm looking at, like you said, when I'm investing and I'm saying, hey, what's one of these projects that I can get a return from the growth, and how many people are going to be? Everybody wants a self custodial perpetual,
yeah, and that's what
and
this is.
it's amazing, man. And so, when you're talking about self custodial, this is, I am looking at Astra because I'm looking at Astra. I've been trading a shit ton of Astra right now. The
There's a
volatility,
lot of volume, right? There's a lot of volume right
it's,
now.
dude, I would just like WorldFi, I was trading it just like
Yeah.
Hype. And when I'm looking at these and I'm looking at a return and I'm saying, man, if it's self custodial, all I got to do is and it's my wallet to wallet. There's no centralization. It's automated. It's AMAs, automated market AMMs,
Yeah,
automated
automated
market
market
makers
makers. Yeah.
between me and them, and it's between literally cold storage to cold storage. And it's amazing what I'm seeing right now, man. And it's really is being taken advantage of from the whales. If you're holding 10,000 bitcoins, dude, and you wanna fuck up the market, dude, you do it without Binance.com. You do it on Hyperliquid. And now they're about to attack Astra.
Well, and Hyperliquid, Astra, and Avantis are right now are the three that I am fighting to get as much exposure as I can to them, but they're just freaking pumping like crazy. So yeah,
Dude, I think Hyperliquid's going to end up at $300. I think Astra is going to end up hitting like a $5-6 range. Dude, we just saw MYX. And if I was to compare the chart from MYX, that coin that just went from $1 to $12, and you look at Astra, I would not be, dude. It's on its own trajectory right now. It is not following the downtrend. It is not. It is bucking the system right now. It is full tilt, baby. That's
and Astra is one that we're probably going to have to do a deep dive on. I haven't looked at it yet. I've been kind of focused on this one, but I see this one as the same. It's self-custody.
Avantis perpetual. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's a perp exchange as well, where I can juice leverage and
Yep.
They're hot, man. They're hot.
Yeah, and the other thing about it too is, I mean, it's a perpetual. It's self custody.
They have a coin, and it's what is the coin ticker on this? And again, guys, I'm going to be asking this question for our audience, my audience.
Yeah. It's just AVNT, Alpha Victor November Tango.
Alpha Victor Tango.
And so, and the other thing is that, again, it's on base. So this is the only perpetuals platform that I know of that's on the base network.
Oh my gosh.
And so you got Coinbase that is the gateway for all the normies out there that don't know how to use, wallets and, know how to, use DeFi. They're going to be able to soon, as soon as they launch that base app, pretty much, things like all the big stuff like this is going to end up on that base app. And you have hundreds of, you have millions of people that are going to have access to all of these base apps. So, I mean, that's a massive amount of liquidity that's going to come flooding in. That's why I'm so laser focused on Base Network.
Did Brian Armstrong make an announcement about or a post about Avantis?
I believe
did he mention it?
I believe he did. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I do believe that I saw something about it.
And just a quick heads up, guys, when we're talking about projects and you got to do kind of some deep dive in what you're about to investing in, there's 25% of the supply out, guys. There's 1 billion Avant tokens. There's 258 million. There's only a quarter of a supply, which, guys, if you ever want to learn about pumponomics in the middle of a bull market, you only put out 25% of the supply, because every dollar from here on out until they release the next unlock juices this thing.
Yeah, that low flow.
Telling you guys, at 25%, at 258 tokens, 1 billion total supply with only a $500 million market cap, guys. If this is going to end up being a Hyperliquid or I would even say an Arrow, you know what I mean? This is almost the same market cap at Arrow, but guys, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and a handful of these, and these don't offer perpetuals. If we really are going to see a market cap and of $6-7 trillion, guys, these are the projects that will give you a 10x. And I just wanted to do a little deep dive on how I invest, guys, and I look at circulating supply and pumponomics and current market cap. And again,
very, very smart.
It's huge, guys. This thing can juice, and I mean, I have it written down on my notes here. I'll be participating. I'll be posting the P&Ls.
Yeah, that's why the volume's so important, because that low supply that's out. I mean, you get enough volume, man, that thing will fucking skyrocket.
It'll skyrocket, but they're gonna dump on us. We just got to be pretty. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing about pumponomics, guys. When 25% of the supply's out, they can easily pull an OP. They could easily pull an Arbitrum, and they start pulling out some serious unlocks, guys. Same thing with Ondo. Ondo went from a $2 to a $4 billion market cap just by releasing tokens, and things start getting a little heavy during the cycle. But right now, while we're going into this, if we have an alt season, you want to see something like this, guys, that can juice and really, really, really blow some fireworks out of its ass. I'm just telling you, this
Absolutely.
would be something like
I
this.
remember trading penny stocks back in the day, like a decade ago, and having low floats, and people would be like, "Oh, it went from 5 cents to $2," and then just fucking tank. So you got to know when to get in, get out, and
Thanks, bro.
It's
take your
all
money
about
and run.
it's all about taking profits and making sure you get your initials out. That's what I always
Mhm.
focus on. But well, real quick before we kick it over to Crypto Crank to let him go through some charts, just want to do a quick shout out to looks like we have a couple of hundred people watching live. So appreciate you all that take the time to come and get the alpha. But Pump.Fun, that both of our YouTube channels and our X accounts are wide open. But if you want to join the chat, I can't stress it enough. Come on over to YouTube. But wherever you're at, please, everything that me and Jeff do here is free. We actually pay for it. I know I say it every time. We don't monetize at all. This we do for the love of the game. We want to be a place of integrity. We don't get paid to talk about these projects. We don't ask for super chats or anything like that. We just want you to understand that what's coming out of our mouths is how we honestly feel, and the information that we're giving is true and honest. So if you could help us grow the channel, like, share, follow all
Get
the
in the
YouTube.
chat.
Yeah. And
We got a
definitely
lot of people in the chat too, man.
absolutely. Well, crypto crank, what do you got for us? Like what are some of the projects that you're working on right
So,
now?
guys, what I teach, especially with day trading, and if you guys have ever wondered why your projects are doing great or they're doing shit, is Bitcoin I teach is an indicator. So we got to start every TA out as an indicator. So let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin, guys. And I know that we had another meeting today with Jerome Powell. I know that all your influencers were blowing smoke up your ass that today was going to be a life-changing crypto day in history, and it was a nothing, bro. I was posting
I
about
had
it.
a
I'm like,
dollar for
bro,
every time I heard that, man. I would
bro,
be
these
your
dudes
investor.
are
So.
a bunch of clowns, bro. Just a bunch of clowns. So let's just take it from the top, guys. I was talking about this retracement here on Bitcoin, and I was saying that right here down below, don't be surprised that if Bitcoin broke 110 last 2 weeks, we came down just a tad. And if we just pull a quick fib just to understand where we're at, if we pull a fib, guys, from this market low during this cycle of 98 up to $125,000, you can see that we have a golden pocket retracement, guys. These are big institutional tools on retracements where we should get a bounce from. Earlier we were talking about those bots and the AI and no emotions and where this money is going to bounce from. And you guys can see here that we came up, we had a clear bounce from this golden pocket. We came up to $117,000, which why did we get rejected real quick? If we pull that Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, you guys can see clear rejection right in here at this 117. I'm actually short. I am long. I'm in a schlong right now, man. I am long from 110 and I am short from 118. But with Bitcoin right now, guys, it is a very shaky road. This is identical to 2021. This is a very, very, very identical market. If we were to just zoom out real quick, and again, just real quick, we'll just do this and then we'll look at some other projects. But you can see here on Bitcoin that we did the exact same thing back in 2021. If we were to go from this high, right? If we went from this high, from this right here, give me just a second here. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's get a
You
quick.
go from the candle body on that, not the wicks,
You
right?
can go from both, bro. I would get creative with both. If you go from the candle body, you can see where we close here, identical. If you were to pull it just a little bit lower, we have much more touches inside of the golden pocket. But this is very identical where we came up, clear rejection, guys. Do not be surprised if something like and I'm just going to tell you right now, do not be surprised. We have a CME gap at $92,000. We have and again, these CME gaps get filled 80-90% of the times, guys. These are large institutional orders that were closed out on a Friday, and that the price, just like liquidity, tends to pull back or to these pockets. And so again, this is looking very identical, guys, where we have this high from 2021. Me personally, I think that Bitcoin's top is going to be somewhere between 135 and 150. And I have a lot of indicators of why, but you can kind of see my trend line right here. That you guys can see something like this. If this thing was to come up like that, up just to this
Gotcha.
135, very similar right up in here to this. Just that it is what it is, guys. If I was to look at something like this, oh my gosh, it's tragic. And as long as we hold, just me personally, as long as we hold on Bitcoin, if we pull this large golden pocket right here, as long as we hold $108,000, guys, I think the game's on. If we break 108,000, you better hope that 103, because a lot of the times when we kind of front run golden pockets like this and it doesn't actually fill, we tend to blast through. And
I heard
so
that in some spaces the past few days. 107, 108 area has been kind of
this is
the
it, dude.
spot. Yeah.
This is it. This is, I mean, when we're looking at a large, if we were just to take everything off and we just said, you know what, Bitcoin is trading between a very, very large range right now. And really it's between this and this. We're coming down. You want this thing to hold. If we were to look at something like this, kind of plays, and then we bolt on out of here. You do not want this thing to, we kind of, you can see here, we had a breakout right here, retest. We had a breakout, retest. You want this thing to break out, retest, and just continue just this little trend like this, guys. And if you just draw just a real simple trend line, again, from here to here, this is a bull market trend. If I just cleaned everything up, guys, you can see multiple touches, multiple touches, multiple touches, which means that on a pattern like this, guys, there is liquidity sitting here. There's liquidity sitting here, here. Do not be surprised if just like I explained earlier, if you see something violent like this, where you see a 50, a 30%. I mean, guys, in all reality, if you just looked at 125 to where we're at right now, it's 14. If we were to go look, and this is the beautiful, just the beautifulness, of TA. Look at exactly where 25% falls. 20% is directly by 92 CME gap. It just lines up too perfect. It'll seriously rinse the market. This equates to this, and then you're able to literally juice on up here just like that. And that's what I'm expecting, guys. So some of the favorite projects that I'm looking at, you guys just turned me on to this Avant. I'm going to be looking at this just like Hype. These are very new products. This is our first cycle where we're seeing lots of liquidity for decentralized perpetuals. It is not something to just think that it's a fad. Guys, there are whales out there that own massive amounts of cryptos in their portfolios, and they don't want to use a Coinbase. They don't want to use a Binance market maker. They don't want to use.
No, they like OTC.
When you get a KYC on a lot of those too.
There's not a better market maker or an OTC than between me and you.
Yep.
If me, Mike, and Jeff are whales, all we do is we connect our wallets and interchange between each other and scare the fuck out of everybody else while we're using leverage. And so it is nothing to shake off, guys. I think Avantis, Hyperliquid is out of control, guys. I just can't. And now we're literally watching the volume pump on Astra.
Well, let me ask you this real quick before you continue on. Out of everything that you're watching right now, where are you seeing the most opportunity? Just because of the volume, the kind of the attention that it's getting. If somebody was to try their hand at doing some trading, putting in a long, putting in a short, whatever it is,
Where would two ways to go about this, guys, at this stage of the cycle. We are not in an accumulation phase. Bull markets are designed to sell. You guys are going to hear every single influencer tell you that, if we hit 130, we're going to 200. If we hit 150, we're going to 300. Guys, bull markets are designed to sell. They are not designed to accumulate. And majority of my bags were about 2.5 years ago. So the only trade, and I'm a little different, and at this stage of the game, guys, I would not be putting my money at a risk for a 5X. I'd be looking for a solid 60 to 1X on my money at this stage of the game, because you're very late, guys. We've been buying Chainlink. Me and my crew have been buying Chainlink under $6. We've been buying Solana under 30. XRP at 30 to 50 cents. Guys, there might be a blow off top to these there, please understand, we are in a institutional bull run, and it is a Bitcoin super cycle.
I've actually been saying something similar for a minute now. Like for about a year and a half, I've been saying that we're moving from a speculative retail driven market to an institutional utility driven market. As
Yeah.
soon as we started getting the regulation to where it was legal for a lot of these institutions to get into, the whole battlefield changed. Like I was talking about, assessing the battlefield with each of these, different projects. It's the same thing with the war. Those are battles. Crypto in general is the war. And if you're not paying it, I know a lot of people don't like to talk politics, but if you're not paying attention to politics and all the different aspects that influence how crypto, how markets move, you are doing yourself a great injustice. Put your emotions aside. I don't care if you're left, right, middle, libertarian, whatever. Pay attention to what's going on. Take your emotions out of it, because what Crypto Crank just said is gold. You need to understand how these markets have changed. So, sorry, go ahead, man.
No, this is good, man. And again, it goes back to what Mike is saying and Jeff is saying, guys. Expectations. If you're expecting to get in cryptocurrency right now and make a ton of money, guys, you're a little late to the game. I'm sorry, but I don't think you are going to see the alt season that we once saw in 2021 and 2017. I just don't think that. I think that based off of Bitcoin dominance, you are about to see a nasty rally back into Bitcoin, guys. And let me explain why we're not going to see an alt season. And this is just me and how I invest. These OTCs, purchases for Bitcoin,
Yeah.
do not want to be out of their position for long. If I'm buying 10,000 Bitcoin and I decide to go into Ethereum ETF, and again, this is BlackRock and Van Eyck and Fidelity and all these big companies, they are making sideline deals right now, and they're saying that if I sell 10,000 Bitcoin back to you on OTC, I have 90 days, 60 days to make sure I'm the participant to buy it back. I'm the
Yeah.
recipient. I'm it.
Recipient. Yeah.
You don't get to sell that shit to BlackRock. I get my Bitcoin back. So you are seeing altcoin mini cycles. You are seeing these guys go from 10,000 Bitcoins. They get into a chain link at $10. They pump it to 20. They go right back to OTC and they say, give me back my Bitcoin. I'm buying it right back. They
Yeah.
agree. They are, guys, we have hedge funds, private equity, governments, cities that are acquiring. They do not want to stay out of their Bitcoin long. It is too risky right now when the whole world is trying to get their hands on it. So with that being said, if Bitcoin is what they want their hands on, we need to start looking at other projects that also will be getting ETFs, also that have the utility. And guys, I couldn't believe that Ethereum touched $1,300 while Bitcoin was over $100,000.
Yeah.
I loaded the fuck up. I'm like, there's just no way, guys. I sold a lot of Bitcoin. I sold, a few Bitcoin, guys, for Ethereum, because I'm like, there's just no way, guys. If Bitcoin was suppressed underneath 50 grand, well, they're saying the ETF inflows were going parabolic. Why the fuck
Yeah.
isn't it moving?
Right?
Well,
Because it's all OTC buys.
Eventually that price has to hit the market. It's got to hit the order books, even if it's OTC.
Well,
And so-
but there's a delayed reaction, is my understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I loaded up on Ethereum. Now we're seeing, guys, a Solana, an XRP, and then I start saying, you know what could be a little bit more risky for me, and it was Chainlink. Guys, I've been through two cycles where I've bought in 2017. I bought XVG, I bought the Verge, I bought the EOS, I bought BitConnect token way back in the day, and I told myself, guys, I've been yeah, Jeff, so I told myself for this cycle during 2022, 2023, 2024, I said, how much money do I need to invest to make $1 million with minimum risk? And I told myself, it's literally coming down to the XRP was not on my radar. I can't believe that fucker even broke $1 after 6 years. I really couldn't. I sold all my XRP at $1, but Chainlink, I think, is going to be doing amazing things, guys. You're seeing it work with all the banks.
Yeah.
You're seeing it work with every single project. I would say as
Swift
a
too,
flyer,
right? Swift.
go ahead.
Yeah, they have a
Aren't-
partnership.
aren't they-
Link has a partnership with Swift that it just was announced a couple weeks ago. I'll tell
Guys,
you if was that.
oh, I was going to say all of those partnerships. So I'm saying Chainlink, guys, if you're looking at this stage of the cycle for something, I would say long term, Bitcoin has a 10x in it. Guys, Bitcoin, you haven't missed shit. If I can honest to God say that between now and 2035, and you're a young person or 50 years old or whatever, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. It's inevitable. No ands. It's the most perfect form of money. Second, I would say what if the world is going towards blockchain and we're going to be creating applications on this new form of internet like blockchain, dApps, decentralized applications, I'd say what are they building on? And I would absolutely say it's going to be Ethereum and it's going to be Solana. And
The
third,
reason. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
well, just the last one, dude. I just watched the owner of Oracle stock become the richest man in the world. Okay, or I don't know if you guys know Oracle stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. They manage all the cloud space for multiple major companies for all of the transactions that we do, and then they blew up because they said they're getting into AI. They're working with Chat GPT. They're working on the purchase and the merge of TikTok, and then
Larry Ellison.
Larry Ellison. And then I told myself, well, if Oracle owns the cloud space, what owns the cloud space in the blockchain world? What owns 63% of the entire DeFi of every protocol out there? And it's Chainlink. And so I'm telling you guys, I can't believe if every project out there would have had the news that Chainlink would have had, like fucking XRP, it rips 40 fucking cents, which is equivalent to 100% in a day.
Yeah.
But yet Chainlink's working with the Chamber of Commerce. It's working with the fucking SEC. It's working,
It's
guys.
working with Swift. It's
It's
working
working with Swift.
It's not going anywhere.
I really,
Yeah.
honest to God, believe you guys. My Chainlink bags, and now my insurance policy by owning these bags is I'm willing to hold it. That's the
Yes.
problem. I'm not willing to hold Arrow for 5 years. I'm sorry. It's a very new project. It's very big. Could it be the new Uniswap? But am I going to hold it for 5 years? If you told me between holding Uniswap or between Arrow and Chainlink, I'm holding Chainlink.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, my thing with Arrow is I did my initial lock when it was about 50 cents. So I put like $2,500 in a lock. I got the flight school bonus, which around then was about a little over 50% of free Arrow that I got, and it was around $1,600. And then I've had that locked, basically earning weekly compounding yield for about a year now, a little over a year. And I did the math, and what was it? It was like 75,000 Arrow is what I'm going to have when it unlocks. And even at a $10, freaking
You got the airdrop, the syndicate airdrop too.
yeah, and I got
So
I got the syndicate
and
airdrop
black.
having my locks. That was like $900. I got the
Black
black
hole?
airdrop. That was a couple $100. And so even a $10 Arrow, when it unlocks here in like 3 years, I'll have 750 grand for a $2,500 investment.
Dude, I've done the math on Arrow, and a $7 to $10, guys. When we compare a pancake swap and a unit swap as far as market cap at peak bull run, or even quarter, if you were to quarter size it, and you know what I mean, with tokens released and everything, I would say, dude, Arrow can absolutely touch $10.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm looking at. And Drew said the same thing. Because if you look at it, you're looking at those market caps with a $3 trillion crypto market cap,
Yeah.
which is going to grow. And so, and then take into account that it's 60% of the volume on the base network and is going to be part of the Coinbase platform and the Coinbase app.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm willing to risk $2,500 for the potential of getting anywhere near 750K. That's not bad for a 3-year investment.
Bro, that's amazing, and that's kind of what I was trying to say about this bull run here. I told myself how much with the least amount of risk, what am I willing to invest in? Because again, I have expectations for my portfolio.
Absolutely.
I do think that Chainlink, you guys, is going to melt faces. I think that it's going to have a $200-300 billion market cap, equivalent to a massive tech company, and it is going to own the space. And so I told myself, well, if that's the case and it's at a $15 billion market cap, how much do I need to own to get to these numbers? Even $100 billion market cap when it was only at 5 billion. And I said, guys, I need 10, 15,000 Chainlink. It's about 50, 60 grand at the time. And it was a mission. But it's conviction, and again, with my expectations of my portfolio, I'm willing to hold that. I truly am. I hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink in massive bags because I do believe Chainlink. I mean, again, I'm hyped up on it, and
Oh, I agree.
guys, all the projects that you guys are in. I mean, guys, his channel is called DeFi Airdrops. That shit does not work without Chainlink. Does
Well,
not
I
work.
mean, yeah,
None of
yeah,
it does.
yes
None
and
of it.
no. Actually, Kita just went live today,
Oh, true.
and they have a built-in Oracle, and it it's boasting. I did a live stream of it, 11 million TPS, and it is purpose built for RWAs and DeFi. So it's one to keep an eye on, and it dipped today, which gives a really good
Someone
entry.
asked about if he could cover that or if he could look that up.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't mind,
Analysis
Crypto
on that.
Crank, real quick. I mean, would you
ATA?
mind taking a look at KTA?
Yeah, you guys want me to chart it out for you? Of course.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Let
projects
me.
like that. Here,
But I
love it.
mean,
This is what I do,
Chainlink
guys.
is so integrated in all of these blockchains. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's good.
No,
You're
it's going to
so
be a
hard pressed
beast.
to.
Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a
Yeah.
beast, but and it is a beast. But I'm just pointing out that there are other new projects that are coming out. Are they going to get the traction? You know, time will tell. But this goes back to what I was talking about, where what is your risk tolerance, and what are you willing to risk for the biscuit? You got to risk it for the biscuit.
Mhm.
So if if you want to put a couple of $100 into one of these plays, because you don't have a ton of money, or your risk tolerance is lower, that's fine. If have a ton of money, and you want to and you're or again, it's just if your risk tolerance is low or high, and what you're trying to accomplish, like Crypto Crank talked about, where he has certain expectations for this cycle, and you need to
Mhm.
understand how that correlates to the moves that you make, the projects you invest in, the way that aside from hodling, if you're going to try trading, if you're going to try DeFi, all of these things are different variables that are going to affect the potential outcome, and you need
Or
to understand.
your insurance policy, bro. If you're gonna hold, if you're or you, guys, when I mean by insurance policy, if I'm wrong, am I willing to hold it because it's not its time?
Yeah,
And
and
that's
that's
my insurance policy. I'm willing to hold Bitcoin back to 20 grand.
and Chainlink.
I'm
Yeah,
willing to hold Chainlink back to $5.
and
I'm
that's
willing to hold Ethereum back to
yeah.
1,300. If I'm wrong and we don't see a $7,000 or $100 Chainlink,
Mm.
guys. I'm not willing to hold Aerodrome back down to below 30 cents. I'm just not. I don't know. There could be a guys. You guys do realize that coin is a stock. This
Yeah,
thing. It is going to be very selective. The market is very new. It's not like BNB, guys. It's the hottest thing right now, and I do think that it's going to be very hot. But who's to know that Sui doesn't partner with fucking BlackRock, where out of nowhere Wormhole did? Maybe Wormhole creates its own perpetual perps and with
mhm.
ETF interaction, and who fucking
You
I'm not.
you never
All
know, dude. I was around during the .coms, and I watched it all play out.
two of them,
I mean,
baby. Who the fuck knows? I mean,
you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting a
yeah.
freaking a .com that was getting millions of dollars, and
And
99% of
Yahoo
them,
was the top dog. And now
yeah,
look at it.
they had the opportunity to buy Google, and they passed on it.
See,
And
I'm willing to take that bet, man. And if I'm wrong, I'll own it. But I tell you what, dude, I'll take that bet on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. And you know what? I will trade the
Mhm.
rest. And That's just me at this stage of the game, especially during a Bitcoin super cycle, guys. And I do think the next 90 days you're going to see it, but be very, very, very cautious. Guys, if you were to get into Arrow right now or Plume or Mofo, guys, when in doubt, zoom out. This is my nature. I'm a trader. These things have fucking ripped the last 75 days. Ripped. And do not be surprised that, I mean, guys, when you're talking Arrow at 30 cents to $2,
Yeah.
just be prepared and of what your expectations are when you're getting into these projects. And two, if you're wrong, are you willing to hold? That's
Well,
your
and
entry.
that's it's interesting you say that, because I mean that's actually one of the things that I have pinned on my X account at the very top. I have these DeFi rules, and one of them is, basically, do you have conviction enough in the assets that if it goes out of range, if you're in a range liquidity pool and it goes out of range and you're all in on one of those assets, are you willing to hodl that asset? And because I'm always telling people, don't chase APRs on meme coins where you get thousands of percent, because when you go out of range on it, you're going to end up hodling that asset unless you just, close it out and sell it. But, I only invest in solid projects that, like you said, I'm willing to round trip if I have to.
Yep. So, real quick, did you want me to look at Kita?
Yes, please.
ETA?
Let's look at that before we close out the show.
All right, guys. So, Kita, this is what I would call this is the MEXC pattern. All right, guys. If you look at this, and I was to compare this to WorldFi, all right, this is a very identical to WorldFi. Almost every new project, you guys, is going to be listed on MEXC, and they have what they call a pre-futures market, meaning this is where traders can kind of, before the token even goes live, this is where volume can start building up. And if I was to compare this here again to just, let me just show you guys to WorldFi. Everyone's got their own names for, everyone's got their own
Patterns.
name. Yeah, for patterns. And if you guys just see exactly, if I just compared this here, look at this, guys. This is what I call the, just from looking at it, this is the nasty ass MEXC pattern. Look, kind of just climbed up, buckled hard, went below entry level. All right, balanced out, and slowly started to climb. And that's what you're seeing is now, if I just go, this is on a 1 hour. If I went to a 1 hour here on WorldFi, look at this, guys. You guys tell me, I mean, I don't see a difference. This is very similar, just the pump. Well, this is the nasty wick. Dump, slow accumulation, guys. Now, what we want to see here is this thing needs to literally, if it does have a bottom, obviously we are now in a massive range between here and here. You guys can see that every single time that we touched, rejection, even got into it, rejection. So what I would want to see on KTA, guys, is I'd be taking positions obviously down here, and this is man, if we were
for either to DCA in or do a long.
Man, DCA means you're investing, guys. DCAs are strong words, brother. Yeah. I'm a trader. They are strong words.
Or ladder in. Do you do like laddering in, where at a certain point you take like a small position and then
I would take, so with me personally, guys, because so the last time I don't, well, without going on a long tangent here, I would do a 1x is how I call it, which is equivalent to spot. I would take a 1x entry and I would layer in. Yeah, I would layer in, but you can see you're on a clear downtrend here. This is another, this right here is another MEXC bullshit. Guys, MEXC makes all its money off of liquidating your ass and stop hunting you. That's exactly what, dude, everything's listed on MEXC first.
Yeah.
But if you just took this out, if we went from here to here, you could see if we just exited this out right here, clear downtrend, I would be anything on the break of this right here, I would start to DCA in. I would DCA in right in here all day long. And that gives you a large range, especially if Bitcoin comes down to 108. This is only a 10% move down. If we went from 92 down here to 81, that's a 12% move down. You know what? At the break of this move right here, because again, if we're in this large range, you can see here that it accumulated right here, and it is trying to turn this into support. And you can see, let's just go to my little path here. Bam, 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 bam. Before the breakout, went all the way up, coming back down. If it falls anywhere in back into this, I'd say, and you have a 12% range, I would say start dialing up. You know what? If you think that this project is going to be a winner and it's very new, you don't have. We already broke listing price. It's a very identical pattern to this. I mean, this is WorldFi. I made on $600, guys. I took WorldFi, and on $600, I cleared $9,000. I did that trade live.
Nice.
Whew.
And oh, dude, it's on my X. It's all posted. I mean, I have it literally
Nice.
posted on my X,
Yeah, you
guys.
have the receipts.
Dude, I don't fuck around. I pick on people, dude, and I'm a nobody.
See,
You
see,
know, guys.
you do
I
it
mean,
fast. I do it slow. I use DeFi. My calling card is taking $800 and turning it to 8,000.
yeah, well, dude, the
But
last
it
7 years, bro, I've
doesn't
been
it
raised by
doesn't
Crypto Face and Jason Casper, and I always told myself Crypto Face for
Ooh.
attitude and Jason Casper for my TA.
yeah.
And yeah, dude, there's so many influencers right now that are a bunch of fucking chart fairies. These dudes aren't making money. I have $8,000 losses, $24,000 wins, and I'll toot my own horn because there's only a handful of real ones out there, and these guys
Mhm.
aren't doing that shit, bro. They
No,
are not.
Jason Casper is one of the few that and I haven't really watched Crypto Face. I know he's very well respected, but
So here you go.
Jason Casper I've watched when I was trying my hand at trading, and yeah, just super down to earth, genuine dude. You can just tell, and he's very transparent with his losses and his wins, which to me, those are the people that I want to learn from. Because if they're being transparent about their losses and their wins, then that means that they have integrity. If they're always trying to hype up their wins and never talking
Dude,
about losing, I don't believe them.
no, you're absolutely, and I tell my guys that too because again, Filicone. I look at Filicone trading, dude. He's a Filipino dude. He's nasty. He's got a
Mm.
mean fucking attitude on you. You try to message that guy, he's gonna ask you, "Who the fuck are you?" And again, he's a nobody. Same thing with Crypto Face, and I'll be going live. I just went live with Crypto Face's brother. I'll be going live with Jason Casper. Shout out to Jason Casper, guys, because
Oh hell yeah.
he's got the TA, he's got the receipts, he's got it,
Mhm.
and excuse me, I always told myself I want to be the same way. I want to show my losses of $8,000, $4,000, $800. I want to
Yeah.
show my wins of, I think my largest trade is 60 grand that I did on an ETH trade, guys. And there's only a handful of them out there, and it blows. And you know what? Shout out to you guys for teaching about a different category of crypto,
Mhm.
of DeFi and staking, because it blows my mind that in my sector right now, I'm a trader. I'm a full-time day trader. That some of these influencers right now, guys, acting like they're traders. It takes, dude, 8 years, 5 years to learn the art of
Mhm.
trading. It's the hardest thing in the world to manage fear
Mhm.
and greed and structure, psychology. And these fucking guys, I mean, and you know what? You're doing it right, dude. Mike, Jeff, you guys are doing it right. Throw a couple $100 into these protocols and watch them grow. And grow what you have. And that's the only reason why I decided to come on the channel for
Yeah.
sure. You guys are definitely doing it right.
No, and and that's the way that you got to be. And I'm always telling people, this you're basically gambling. Don't put any money into crypto, and if you do, assume that you've already lost it. It's going to take the emotion out of it. Treat it like you're at a blackjack table. You get some knowledge, some entertainment. You might learn some things, but do not put money into these markets if you don't if you're not fully knowledgeable about how crypto works, about the actual fundamentals. If you see a social media post, and these are my final thoughts, if you see a social media post and they're hyping the shit out of a project, stay the fuck away. That means that you're buying the top. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's XRP. I don't care what it is. It means you missed the boat. You need to be getting into these projects when nobody knows about them, and you're finding these gems through research. The only time that you can get into these projects and make money is in trading, after, when you're in that fever, hype, because that's when you're going to get that volatility. And when that volatility is going, that, people that know what they're doing, like Crypto Crank, they're catching the longs. They know when it's going to reverse, and they're pulling out, they're putting in a short, and they're just, hitting it, again, up, down, up, down, up, down, and they're making, their 80% or 100%, each time. And that's the people that are making money after, while the hype is going on. So again, unless you're trading, do not buy hype. You're gonna get wrecked. Crypto
Lock it
Crank.
in, guys.
Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts, guys. For one, have your expectations for your portfolios. If you're going to stake, understand the risk. If you're going to trade, understand the risk. Understand too the environment that you're trading in, guys. This is not the fun times of meme times. These environments with these institutions are designed to steal from you. They are designed to steal your crypto, especially on primetime projects. So I would say make sure to lock it in and be educated, guys. Listen to guys like Mike and Jeff and a handful of other channels and understand what your expectations are and what you're getting into. I mean, we all have to do. Just remember one thing, and I'll leave you guys with this. You are your money manager for staking, for trading, for investing. You're not paying a Charles Schwab. You're not paying somebody at your local town to manage your money. You manage your money. And so understand how the game works, get a little educated because it's a tough, guys. Don't and Mike said it and Jeff said it earlier. Do not use emotions when it comes to money, guys. You need to be a fucking robot because that's what you're up against. You are up against robots that are managing that money for you if you pay them for you. But right now, if you're
At
not paying,
lightning speed.
you're your money manager. So zero emotions, hope. And you know what? This last week, hope is not a strategy. I'm a believer, guys, but you know what? I'm a believer, but I tell you what, I can't be praying and saying, God, make me rich or get me out of this position, Lord God.
Yeah.
I got me. I'm 10 grand down right now, Lord Jesus. If I could just get a please,
Here,
let me
eight
buy this
pounds, things
next.
out, baby Jesus, wrapped in your swaddling
Yeah.
clothes.
I can't be pulling the Jesus card out. God, if only you broke me even. Hope is not a strategy, guys. And so manage your portfolios and be educated and learn to be responsible. You're fucking with money, guys. You're
Yeah.
fucking with real money that can change your life. It's changed my life drastically. It's changed I have 2 little boys, a wife. It has changed my life drastically, guys. And once you start understanding the game, and even better, I'll leave you with this. When you start making withdrawals, shit starts getting really fun. When you actually start withdrawing money, you understand you're doing something right. And when you start withdrawing money, you understand, you know what? I, I'm rewarded. I did it right.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, most people don't understand how to withdraw crypto. They withdraw because they're leaving sad and in a loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things start getting a lot really, really fun when you're leaving the game with the pocket full of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
And so understand you're your money manager. You need to be educated. You need to understand what you're doing at least a little bit, and the rest just let it ride, baby. And
I,
so
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I always say investing is a game of musical chairs. And you want to be the first one to grab a seat. When the music stops, if you're looking around looking for a seat, you are the exit liquidity.
that's
So,
it, dude.
Jeff, closing thoughts,
No,
brother.
can you share that Filicone dude? I'm not familiar with him. I
Oh
like check
yeah,
him out.
dude. Good old
Yeah,
feel. Good old
because the
feel.
more trustworthy people we have
He's
around
an
this space,
asshole,
the better.
brother. He's an asshole, but I tell you what, I love Phil.
Hey, I dated a Filipina for almost 8 years. So
Here's Filicone right here, boy. I tell you what, monster trader. Monster trader has a mean attitude, just like Crypto Face, but has the receipts. Guys, there's only a
yeah.
handful of people. I don't know if you guys can see my wait.
You gotta share
the
Hold
share
on,
Zoom.
I got
whatever
it right
screen.
here.
There you go.
This is
Okay.
Filicone right here. Yeah, you guys saw my trade. I'm up
Okay.
a little bit right here, but Filicone. Now, again, he's got the guys up 46 G's. showing you the trades. He's got shout out to Filicone, man. Hopefully, and he doesn't follow me. I've tried reaching out to him, and I'm like, yo, bro, young protege of Jason.
Oh,
Hey, bro, check out my big fat trade you gave me, and I made $24,000, and he's like, bro, what are you, bro? What are you, just a pleb? And I'm like, all right, bro, I get it. No hard feelings. Yeah, I love it. But this is Filicone, man, and he's again Jason Casper, Filicone, Crypto Face, real life traders. These guys have the receipts. These guys are real day traders. They've been doing it longer than 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And bro, these guys are the ones that are going to be around, just like myself, after the bear market. These fucking guys, do you guys ever realize how shit gets hot and cold in a hot and bear market, dude? And a bull market, bear market, and all of a sudden all these fucking chart fairies leave, and these dudes are, bro.
You watch all the social media, freaking influencers, the end of the last bull market, and then they all disappeared for the bear market, and then they all started showing back up when things started pumping again. It's just funny to watch. But Jeff, closing thoughts before we close this out.
Man, like everyone said, have a plan, whether it's DeFi, trading. Don't get too emotional. Pick projects that do your research on, legitimate projects. That's why we love doing these deep dives, here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, because we go in depth on all the team, the funding, what the project is, how to get involved. And even like with Plume, me finding it last year and thinking it was kind of hokey with all the cartoons and shit that they had, but seeing what they built out. So you just never know what kind of project will be standing the test of time and the partnerships that they have. So have a plan and follow people that are trustworthy, not just trying to get you to buy a course and then they fucking dip on you. So, creators need to make money somehow. Whether like, who is it? I'm blanking. I mean, there's a bunch of people with courses out there, but find legitimate people. And that's why we like to bring on people like Crypto Crank, who are out there actually being transparent and shit, and not just saying, oh, here's a screenshot of what I might be making, but you don't know. But he's showing live trades like, this is what I'm doing, and
that's what drew me to Jason Casper. Is that he shows live, like, hey, here's me entering along, here's my long while I'm messing with my plunger and I'm on my treadmill. And,
check out my scalp and chills, guys. Check out my scalp and chills. Just shout out.
Yeah.
I know you guys have seen my scalp and chills where we're doing it late night and we're just, guys, take the entries with me, close them out. We'll win together. We'll lose together. But
I might have to start joining you, because as far as trading, I'm not looking to make $20,000 in a trade. I like just putting a couple $100 and seeing if I can turn it into $1,000. To me, that's a good day. It's like if I can
join the scalp and chills, brother. Dude, we've turned $100 into $1,000. It's just
when is it on? When are they on?
So I do them almost every other night. I do the scalp and chills almost every other night, but it's called the Crypto Crank Radical Scalp Method. And all we're doing, dude, is syncing up altcoins to Bitcoin's movements. Okay. And it's very simple, dude. You're gonna learn how to use a little bit of leverage. We're gonna take these entries in and out. And the name of the game is, dude, is if you make 10%, $10 on your $100, bro, you're up 10%. I promise you, Mike, in less than we do a little scalp session, brother. You'd be like, holy shit, dude, I got like, 150, 220 bucks sitting here. Dude. You're like, damn, this is pretty cool.
I just like, just because I want to learn, and there's no better way to learn than just, use a little bit of money that, like if I was, like I said, sitting down at a blackjack table, I'd just be like, okay, cool. A little bit of entertainment, learn a little something, but you're not going to, freaking lose your mind if you lose it. But shoot me a message or tag me or something next time you got one going on, and I'll jump on.
Let's do it. All right, man. You guys have a wonderful night. God bless. I can't wait to do it again. And again, guys, shout out to these guys if you want to learn how to do staking and these protocols. I've heard of people making a lot of money, and these guys are breaking it and dissecting it down
Mhm.
on how to do it. So shout out to them. Shout out to Veteran Crypto and DeFi Crypto Airdrops. Jeff, for sure, guys. This was great.
Well, we appreciate you, brother. So yeah, we'll definitely hit you up again. Maybe make this a regular thing. To just have you on and kind of get your insight into the markets and stuff like that. But
All right, cool.
all right,
Knowledge is power, man.
yep, it
Knowledge is
is.
power,
It
baby.
is. Well,
All right.
till next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Have a good
Peace.
one.